185 pounds. He is the highest flyer in the game.
Wrestling, Denver, Colorado, the man not the place, going to be calling the free Powerbomb TV pregame alongside Paul Crockett. Thank you for joining us. YouTube.com/Beyond Wrestling, Facebook.com/Independent Wrestling. Certainly urge everybody that's watching live on both YouTube and Facebook, please take a second, share the link. Let's get as many eyeballs as possible on the Powerbomb TV pregame. Starting things off with Matt Riddle versus AR5. Let's give it to you. I'm going to throw to Paul Crockett right now. Who do you give the edge to in this matchup?
Less than 24 hours removed from both of these competitors having very tough contests yesterday in Philadelphia. I have to give a little bit of an advantage to AR Fox. I thought he had a little bit of a, I don't want to say less hard, but it was less difficult for him to come out of that with a win than Matt Riddle. And Matt really did nothing wrong with the win. He got beaten and bruised by David Starr. Now when AR Fox came out with the win, so I'm going to give a little bit of an advantage to AR here.
Both these guys got something to prove, busting out the big guns right out of the gate. You know, somebody like Matt Riddle, who's undefeated for such a long period of time here in Beyond Wrestling, find his place on the roster once again. AR Fox, not even 2 weeks ago, suffering a severe injury to the shoulder against doctor's wishes. He's competing here today. He's going to be looking at Hurricane Rana, but instead holding onto the arm and taking Riddle down.
Matt Riddle losing on New Year's Eve and also losing yesterday, so is the mental factor going to come into play for Matt Riddle? Because even though he is a professional athlete and has been for a long time, you never know how certain people are going to react to losses.
Well, dude, there's ups and downs in any professional sport. Right now, AR Fox is taking crashing down on Matt Riddle, and it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon.
Riddle can get that one fully. Let's see if he can go for the third one.
Earning that moniker, the highest flyer in the game. Ripping over that first Undertaker style. I've never seen Taker do it like that. Go! Everybody, there's the free Powerbomb TV pregame, Independent Wrestling's Facebook page, Beyond Wrestling's YouTube page. Please take a second to share the action. We've got so much more to come, including Josh Briggs versus Brian Cage, Flip Gordon versus Brandon Watts, and Martin Stone versus Jonathan Gresham. AR Fox, Swanton bomb, caught him right on the chest. Is that going to be enough?
And the aspect of AR Fox is, yes, he will take high risks, yes, he will go up, but you also have to factor in that means not only does he not have fear, but he's willing to go to crazy heights to win a match, but Matt Riddle looks like he's right back in the game.
Oh man, these guys are just hot and heavy. I mean, we're only barely 3 minutes into this match, and just a second away from it coming to a conclusion.
And either one of these guys can finish this quick. Matt Riddle can snap on an armbar quicker than you can say throw. AR Fox could go to the sky and finish it with just one move, so you never know when it's going to end.
Well, the last time that these two shared a ring was at Evolve Wrestling. The Cradle Buster right into the pin, and at that time, AR Fox had to skulk his students from WWA 4 in Atlanta ringside, and I think that played a factor in the decision. Fox is on his own today.
This could be it right here. He's got it locked in. It looks like that forearm cinched on the throat of AR Fox.
Fox is strong though. Fox doesn't get nearly enough credit for his strength because he is such a skilled high flyer. Oh! Dropping Riddle on his head. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Take a gander to the ring right now. Fox is going to be taking this one home. Of course, we're going to be teaming up with Evolve WWN. April 5th, Beyond Wrestling. It's going to be in New Orleans. Hoping for our biggest crowd ever. Hoping if you're going to be down there for WrestleMania weekend, you will join us. We've got a super aggressive schedule between now and then, including Women's Wrestling Revolution return to this very building on Sunday, March 25th, with the debut of Tennille Dashwood. In fact, 5-year plan later on tonight. Exclusively on Powerbomb.tv, we're going to see a 20-woman Revolutionary Rumble, the winner of which will go on to face Tennille Dashwood on March 25th. can watch that live on Powerbomb TV.
And DC, I don't know how smart this was a strategy for Riddle to go up top, because this is where Fox lives.
I don't know. Riddle needs a back body drop right now.
Oh my God!
Instead of Canadian Destroyer. The recoil propelling him to his feet, cannot defend himself from the corner, and Fox is going to be looking for low main pain. Oh, Fox taking him over. Fox ain't done. What a combination out of AR Fox. The Canadian Destroyer.
I don't know if he picked the right corner, but let's see what he can make work here.
Oh, unbelievable. This guy is a once-in-a-lifetime athlete. Even with no clearance.
How is Matt Riddle alive?
Even with no clearance overhead.
Oh! And just like that, it could be all over. Fox doesn't know. He has nowhere to go.
This is insanity. Is Fox going to get choked out? Can Riddle get into the Pro Mission? These guys are not getting paid by the minute. Oh! AR Fox collapsed. The power bomb flipping him over, not even waiting for the pin. Oh, the knockout knee. Riddle's going to beat.
That's it.
1, 2, 3.
And with all of those crazy moves that we saw, it was a devastating knee to the chin that ended it.
Just takes one shot to get knocked out.
And Matt Riddle is back and beyond.
We heard the official decision from Palladino. Matt Riddle picking up a big win, rebounding from his loss to David Starr at Spirit of 76 yesterday. Beyond Wrestling's oversold-out debut in Philadelphia. And as I was alluding to, we have a super aggressive schedule coming up. More on that in just a minute. In the meantime, please share the stream. Independent Wrestling's Facebook page, Beyond Wrestling's YouTube page.
They're coming back, just ask Anthony Green. Right? Richard section. We got like 2 fanny packs left. We got 1 left. Get it while you can. Only a couple of pins left. You might end up taking this pin off my very jacket here. Pins on sale, t-shirts, so much more. If you're not here live, you're watching us on Powerbomb TV. Go to BeyondWrestlingOnline.com and buy your Beyond Wrestling merchandise. And the following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Yeah. Well, appreciate the plug from Rich Palladino. If you got the time, go to BeyondWrestlingOnline.com/shop. We've got some pretty cool t-shirts, etc. So we're going to be moving along with a free Powerbomb pregame. 1 match down, and what a match it was with AR Fox versus Matt Riddle. But we've still got Josh Briggs, who's become a favorite quickly here in Beyond Wrestling, set to go one-on-one with perhaps the biggest opponent of his career, Brian Cage. Guys, please, I urge you, take 3 seconds, share the stream on Facebook.com/Independent Wrestling or YouTube.com/Beyond Wrestling, however you're watching it. Tweet out the links. We want to get as many eyeballs as possible on the free Powerbomb pregames. With your support, we can bring you matches like AR Fox versus Matt Riddle for free, like Josh Briggs versus Brian Cage for free, and our main event still to come, Martin Stone versus Jonathan Gresham, possibly for the Independent Wrestling Championship. I'm not sure if we were able to negotiate that with Stokely Hathaway by the time that we went on air with the broadcast. Now let me ask you, Paul Crockett, you are somebody that keeps an eye on the scene here in New England. You've done your homework. What does Josh Briggs have to do to knock off Brian Cage here today?
Josh Briggs is a guy you look at and you think pure power, intensity, but he can do it all, and he pulls a lot of tricks out of his bag. So I think he's going to have to do something unorthodox, out of the ordinary, to beat someone like Brian Cage, because Brian Cage is also somebody who's been there, done it all, seen it all. But I do think Briggs has the advantage in the fact that Brian Cage probably hasn't seen a lot of him either. So I think that he's going to pull something out of his hat to be able to pull this one off tonight.
Well, that remains to be seen. Definitely got his work cut out for him.
Brian Cage just recently becoming a father for the first time, so maybe his mind is also elsewhere. Maybe he's thinking about family first, but Not before getting a swell on, a little pump on before he came here today.
Yeah, dude, I don't think anybody would have blamed him if, he didn't want to follow through with his commitments this weekend, considering that his wife just gave birth, and congratulations to Melissa Santos over the week. But he was at the convention yesterday. He wrestled in a 6-man tag alongside Bill Carr and KTP against Dan Barry's Amityville faction, and he's here today to go one-on-one with Josh Briggs. He is a fucking machine.
Introducing first directly in front of me, hailing from Nothing, Arizona, weighing in at 269 pounds. Chances are he doesn't like you, Josh Briggs! His opponent to my left, the man who just became a father for the first time. Just this past week, hailing from Chico, California, weighing at 262 pounds, the Swolverine, Mr. GMSI, and the fucking machine,
One factor that Josh Briggs is not used to. He's used to being the biggest guy in the room, and now he's looking across at him probably thinking, I might have a strength disadvantage here.
Sure, and you got to think, we don't have any championships here in Beyond Wrestling. Either one of these guys could probably lay claim for being one of the best that's competed in Beyond Wrestling. Right now we've got a rivalry between Joey Janela and David Starr, which we thought we were going to see on New Year's Eve at Heavy Lines of the Crown. You can check out the replay on TV. But unfortunately, their rivalry, the bloodiest rivalry in Beyond Wrestling history, spilling over the women's wrestling revolution. It's going to be David Starr and Tessa Blanchard against Joey Janela and Penelope Ford. That's going to be part of the women's wrestling revolution 5-year plan broadcast starting at 3:30 p.m. exclusively at Powerbomb.tv. Make it a doubleheader with the Rumble if you must. Certainly want to give you an action-packed day of wrestling. Now there's no more football on Sundays. I certainly appreciate everybody supporting the free Powerbomb pregame. If you don't already subscribe to Powerbomb.tv, if you use promo code WWRPRO, you can watch tonight's broadcast for free.
Here's something I didn't think I'd see Brian Cage taking it to the mat this quickly. I thought this would be like two rhinos charging at each other, but we have a little bit of a technical classic on our hands here.
And it's always wild to see athletes this size show just how much technical prowess they have. I mean, I'm not expecting to see any combinations the likes which we see along, when Jonathan Gresham faces Mark Stone for the first time ever in just a few minutes. That's the main event of the Powerbomb pregame. But Josh Briggs, I mean, he's obviously pretty well trained coming out of Brian Fury's New England Pro Wrestling Academy. They know what they're doing there. We will see another one of Fury's prize students, Flip Gordon, in the very next match, going one-on-one with Brandon Ross for the first time. There's actually Flip Gordon that was one-on-one with Mark Stone yesterday as part of the Wrestling Spirit of 76, our debut in Philadelphia. The VOD coming soon to Powerbomb.tv. Brian Cage, the Swolverine locking up. An arm drag gets some separation. Briggs came running in. Got taken over a second time. That time sidestepped and a running European uppercut finds the ball. This is where Briggs is going to find himself, Crockett. He's got to get out of the corner. Because Brian Cage can smother you there.
I think he can smother you at any point in the ring, but I think this is going to be much more back and forth than we're used to seeing from either guy. But right now, Brian Cage finds himself on top. Josh Briggs may have to reach into his bag that he learned at the University of Massachusetts Amherst as a football player, football player.
When's the last time you competed on the gridiron? And that bag of tricks might be running dry, so to speak.
Well, you never know. One of the things he learned there is grit and determination, and that will always come into play in his match.
Brian Cage trying to get out of the way of the pit, barely on a one count. Josh Briggs went one-on-one with Keith Lee at Beyond Wrestling Heavy Lines that got on New Year's Eve. You can watch the replay at Powerbomb.tv. Sign up using promo code WWRPRO. You get a 20-day free trial. You can watch tonight's WWR stream starting at 3:30 for free. This match against Keith Lee, I think, was a breakout performance for him. Even though he came up short, he wants that win today. He didn't win the qualifying match for the finals of the tournament tomorrow yesterday.
Look at this impressive strength.
Slamming him down, trying to put a hole in the man.
Came up short yesterday.
It's one thing to win over the fans, it's another to win your matches.
Right.
Popularity certainly helps your booking status, but if you're not picking up wins, eventually the fans aren't going to be there for you.
One of the things he still has to try to work with is that fan approval as opposed to keeping his eye on the prize, because when you keep your eye off, that happens.
Exactly. It's hard. It's really tough too with the Beyond Wrestling environment, with the fans right up against the ring. Somebody that we don't even pick up says something. One of the wrestlers in the ring here, it's a distraction. And the in-and-out suplex from Brian Cage, leaving Josh Briggs in a heap of himself. I'm going to say chances are Briggs does not like Brian Cage right now.
That suplex would have broken a horse in half, let alone Josh Briggs. I don't know how he's getting back to his feet right now.
Well, Brian Cage is helping him up, and perhaps the weakness in Cage's strategy is he had his man down on the mat, and instead he's taking a fight to him on his feet.
He knows how tough he is.
Let's go.
I mean, I know he probably doesn't have a deep study of him, but I know he's aware of him, knows who he is. So, and you can just look at him and know you have to do a lot to put him down.
Whoa. Wild back body drop.
Briggs barely out of that one. So it looks like it could be coming toward the end of the line for him. But don't count him out. Like I said earlier, he has a lot of experience. Even though he's very young in his career, just a little over 2 years, he's been all over the East Coast of the United States, just recently ventured into Canada for the first time. So he's had a lot of ring time for a guy so young in his career.
Oh, dude, his schedule coming up is insane. Briggs is certainly one of the breakout stars of Beyond Wrestling's success story. You can't take anything away from the guy's hard work. You can only give him a platform to show just how good he is.
Briggs firing back with Cage with a big knee and an uppercut, keeping the pressure on the big man.
It looked as though Briggs was thinking about charging in, and he didn't, and instead turning the tide right there, but not for very long. I don't know if either of these guys want to get in a slugfest. They're both so strong. It might benefit Briggs just because he's a little bit taller. He might have a little bit longer of a reach. And there you see him closing the gap with those rapid-fire elbow strikes. He couldn't even keep Cage up on his shoulder.
But as experienced as you get, sometimes you get in the heat of the moment and it turns into a certain measuring contest in there, and that's what it looks like it might be right now.
Measuring your Pishi.
Both men down in
right
this
now,
crowd appreciate.
Right now, these guys are going to get measured for caskets.
Yeah.
Unbelievable turnout here for the Powerbomb pregame Women's Wrestling Revolution 5-year plan at 3:30. Thanks for joining us the free Powerbomb pregame at facebook.com/independent wrestling, youtube.com/beyond wrestling. If you get a chance, please share the stream. We want to get as many people as possible watching both of today's broadcasts. Very proud of what we do. We want to give it to you for free as much as we can. I mean, this is not a quote-unquote pregame. This is the Powerbomb pre-show, and you're seeing 8 of the very best wrestlers on the scene. You already saw Fox and Riddle. You're seeing Cage and Briggs right now. We got Flip Gordon versus Brandon Watts still to come. This could do it, man. That was a nasty gut buster. And of course, the headline by Jonathan Gresham with Stokely Hathaway, the Dream Team versus Martin Stone. That promises to be a scientific masterpiece. The first time they've ever met anywhere in the world. You're going to see that for free just coming up in a few minutes. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's all right. 2 running boots to the mug and a gut buster. I think I would need to be in the infirmary, let alone getting back up and being in a fight.
Still keeps going for that slam of sorts. Oh! And Cage still has his number. That time, shoulder first into the post. Flesh versus the ring. The ring wins every time. Wow! And the strength of Brian Cage to slam an opponent inside out like that.
And Briggs still alive, still fighting. This has been an entire match of what do I have to do to put this guy away from both guys.
Well, Briggs has 2 moves that have been very
effective.
Very effective. Oh my God, that's a spinning soul boat. Who the hell expected to see that from Brian Cage? Briggs has 2 moves that have been very effective. He's got the inverted iconoclasm, and he's got the choke slam into the lung blow.
And a moonsault.
Hey, that could work too. That could do the trick. I don't think he got enough across the chest, though. A lot of contact on the legs, and he hooked the legs, but didn't get enough on that lateral press. My point to this, though, talking about what's been successful for Briggs, is that Brian Cage can literally do anything. It may be the Steiner screwdriver, it may be the Weapon X, it may be something that we've never even seen before. So if you're Josh Briggs, even if you did your homework coming to this match, I mean, well, let's see if you can hit that choke slam into a lung blower. Oh no, Brian Cage is just gonna do a backflip. All right. Oh, he's just gonna knock him out with the knee. Okay. Oh, and the F5. That's gonna be it.
Briggs bounced off the mat.
2. Come on, making a fool out of me. I thought that was it.
Briggs bounced face first off the mat like a tennis ball, but somehow instinct kicked in and he's still in there.
That's a nasty landing. You know, wrestlers spend their entire career trying to learn how to fall on their back so that they can have lengthy careers. When you get thrown on your face like that, an uneven landing, that can do serious damage to your head, your neck.
Blocked. Beautiful block. Briggs going up.
Briggs was looking for the moonsault body block instead. Trying to get trapped up in that rope. He's going to be careful. Oh! Could not block that kick. Now up on the shoulders.
Briggs sneaks out of it. Twirling headbutt.
What's he looking for here? Are we going to see it? Oh. Got the knees underneath him. Brian Cage trying to roll to the floor. Couldn't get there, having to expend the extra energy, but still managing to kick out.
He might have to shoot him to win this match.
Well, I mean, there's pretty relaxed rules here in Worcester, Mr. Crockett, but I don't think a gun should be allowed.
I mean, we have history in this building with gunshots, do we not?
Well, let's not talk about that. Chainsaws as well.
Yeah.
Well, if you're Josh Briggs, you've got to be looking for that inverted iconoclasm right now, and that's what he keeps going for. Now finally got him up on the shoulders. Can he grab him by the arms? Looks like he was going to slam him out of the ring, and instead he almost got tossed over the top rope. Jesus Christ, the discus lariat. Is he knocked out? Come on!
And Cage is going right back into it. I think he knows he needs to capitalize right now.
Damn, is he looking for that screwdriver? Let's get him up, spin him around, showing the crowd. Oh! Could have broken his damn neck. Insane.
You have to give credit where credit is due. Brian Cage got the win here tonight, but I don't think anybody will take anything away from Josh Briggs after that performance.
I think if Josh Briggs wasn't on your radar prior to seeing this, he's gonna be. Because this dude's gonna be everywhere in 2018. Again, that's only half of the free Powerbomb TV pregame. We've seen AR Fox versus Matt Riddle. We saw Brian Cage versus Josh Briggs. Still to come, Flip Gordon versus Brandon Watts, Martin Stone versus Jonathan Gresham for the first time ever. And then at 3:30 p.m., we go live on Powerbomb.tv exclusively for Women's Wrestling Revolution 5-year plan featuring the Revolutionary Rumble, the winner of which will go on to face Tennille Dashwood in her WWR debut on Sunday, March 25th, live at Electric Haze. If you sign up using promo code WWR Pro, you can watch tonight's broadcast for free.
Guys, we got a special deal at the merch table today only. Get yourselves a t-shirt and Beyond Wrestling DVD. Just $25.
That's a pretty good deal.
T-shirts 20, t-shirts are 15, DVDs are 15. You're saving $5 because we love you here in Worcester, Massachusetts. And the following contest is scheduled for.
That is a good deal, DC. You got a 20 I can borrow?
It's a pretty good deal. And you know what? As much as Powerbomb TV, Facebook.com/independent wrestling, YouTube.com/Beyond Wrestling, there's nothing that beats being live for Beyond Wrestling. I'm going to run down our upcoming schedule. We have I Want It All, Enfield, Connecticut, Saturday, February 24th. A doubleheader with Blitz Creek Pro. Enfield, Connecticut is smack dab between Springfield, Massachusetts, Hartford, Connecticut. Only about 15 minutes from either of those cities. So if you ever wanted to check us out in Western Massachusetts, Saturday, February 24th is going to be the time. The very next day, Sunday, February 25th, we're back here at Electric Haze in Worcester, Massachusetts for Abundanza. Okay, just announced, Sunday, March 18th, Beyond Wrestling returns to the Varnum Memorial Armory in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. We have not hosted a Beyond Wrestling live event in that building since 2012. It's going to be out of control. And then the very next week, we are back here at Electric Hayes for Women's Wrestling Revolution, featuring the debut of Tennille Dashwood. The Revolutionary Rumble during tonight's 5-year planned broadcast will determine her opponent. And then, of course, we're going to be in New Orleans for WrestleMania weekend, Thursday into Friday at midnight. Keep an eye on all the announcements, BeyondWrestlingOnline.com. I'm going to throw it to Palladino for the official introductions.
Introducing first, in the corner to my right, from the Bronx, New York, weighing at 180 pounds, the Shred God, Brandon Watts. His opponent in the corner to my left, originally from Kalispell, Montana, now residing in Boston, Massachusetts. Weighing at 189 pounds, Flip Gordon!
Much different reaction today for Flip Gordon with that Tom Brady jersey on. We were in a little bit of enemy territory yesterday in Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, it's that. There's going to be a New England versus Philadelphia game or something coming up soon. I pretty much only watch wrestling. And, if you go to youtube.com/BeyondWrestling, pretty much a free match or more every week. I don't know how anybody would have time for anything else other than professional wrestling. But want to thank everybody joining us again. The free Powerbomb TV pregame. It's with your support we can bring you these incredible matches. Please take 5 seconds out of your time to share the stream either on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter as we see Flip Gordon one-on-one with Brandon Watts. And this is a match that Watts specifically asked for when he found out that Flip Gordon had rejoined the Beyond Wrestling roster just a couple weeks ago.
Brandon Watts has come a long way in Beyond Wrestling, originally a part of Milk Chocolate and now breaking out on his own. So it's good to see the genesis to where we are now with Brandon Watts. He's been in a lot of battles.
A lot of ups and downs for Brandon Watts in 2017, coming back from a broken neck, able to win a rivalry with AR Fox, only to be dragged down to the muck and mire with Zen Shi. But it looks like he's put Zen Shi in the rear view, and he was in a six-way scramble yesterday to determine who would go on to face Wheeler Yuta in the finals of Tournament for Tomorrow on Sunday, February 25th, right back here at Electric Hayes for Beyond Wrestling Abundanza. MJF was victorious in that contest. So now it's back to the drawing board for Brandon Watts. Let's see what he can do here today against Flip Gordon, who has unbelievable opportunities in the coming months between New Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Not to mention his international tours in Mexico, not to mention his commitments with Ring of Honor, not to mention his commitments here in Beyond Wrestling. I mean, Flip Gordon, you want to talk about a success story coming out of Brian Fury's New England Pro Wrestling Academy. You know names like Oni Lorcan, Sasha Banks, and Donovan Dijak. You saw what Josh Briggs could do. Now, feast your eyes on Flip Gordon.
That's very uncharacteristic for Flip Gordon right there. Usually he's up and up, on the up and up as a competitor, but that was very unlike him. Maybe the Bullet Club influence is kind of getting to him a little bit.
Well, you don't know. I mean, then again, he was booed out of the building yesterday in Philadelphia, so maybe that is, maybe he felt like he could harness that energy some way, somehow.
But Watts,
you don't always need the fans on your side, Crockett, but if push comes to shove and you can dig deep, it certainly helps.
Brandon Watts overcoming that insult now, going up top to see if he can do something to get him this win, but Flip
got the knees up.
And when it comes to going high in the air, Flip knows it all, so he saw that one coming and he was able to counter.
It's called a high cross body because you hear your opponent high. How many athletes have the vertical leap that they can jump and put their knees where their face should be to take out their opponent from underneath them? That was like a lung blower riding them all the way down. Excellent strategy out of Flip Gordon. Watts might be in over his head.
Beautiful kick to the chest, and this is usually where he follows it up with the moonsault. A little bit more insult to injury there. Whoa! Now that is something I didn't even see yesterday. He's really angry.
Flip Gordon not doing anything to endear himself to the fans here. A near-capacity crowd at Electric Cage in Worcester, Massachusetts.
And you know what? Quite frankly, this might be what he needs. You know, he came back.
Attitude?
He came back to Beyond Wrestling. He hasn't exactly been on the.
No, he's had a tough go at it with matches against Jonathan Gresham, Wheeler Yuta, and Martin Stone. He's yet to pick up a victory. So if it's gonna, whatever inspires him, if it is a vicious streak, so be it. Damn, the impact on that vertical snap suplex.
Very aggressive and very effective. And like I said, with the Bullet Club influence, obviously he's the butt of their jokes a lot in their videos. I'm sure everybody has seen those videos, but maybe, just maybe, he's finally learning from that. And I think that could be good for his career.
Dude, if you're the butt of every joke, you got a lot of pent-up aggression. He's taking it on Brandon Watson right now. And there's a flip, not even using his athletic ability to damage his opponent, instead taunting him. Choking him on the ropes is about as illegal as it gets, a second away from being disqualified. And now we see a variation of that ab stretch. Brandon Watts needs to get his left arm unhooked from the leg of Flip Gordon to alleviate some of the pressure. The official switching positions to see if Watts is going to give it up. Obviously a very dire situation for the Shred God.
And usually when you watch Flip Gordon, all of his offense is based on going to the top rope, being creative, being flashy. But right now, he's working over the abdominals of Brandon Watson. He knows later on if he goes high risk and he connects straight to the abdomen of Brandon Watts, this kind of offense right here is going to pay off.
Flip ain't no dummy. Again, he's competed with the best. He's trained with the best. I mean, just 3 years into professional wrestling, uprooting his life from Montana to train at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy in North Andover, Massachusetts. Any aspiring professional wrestlers in the New England area, I certainly urge you to go train with Brian Fury. As he was looking for that springboard super kick, instead got his jaw jacked on that top rope.
And now Flip reeling, can Watts.
Watts got the boot up, but he set the trap. He was feeding that to Flip. And now Flip getting sidestepped, catching himself on the apron. The fans need to be careful.
And again, the high-risk maneuver, they call it that for a reason. He went for it, and Watts made him pay. Now can the Shred God fire back and make it work to his advantage?
And when you don't have the fans on your side, you can't feed off the energy. It is palpable in this room. Everybody in favor of Brandon Watts. I think that Flip Gordon is seriously hurt. Watts was looking for that running STL. Oh, no. Gordon was just playing possum. He knew what was coming.
And that woke Watts up.
Stopping the momentum and completely trying to get under the skin of Watts. Gordon has to avoid that STL on the apron at all costs.
This isn't going to end well for someone. It just matters who right now.
Oh! Responding in kind. Not just wailing on the apron. The official's going to get him back in the ring. Shred God's got tunnel vision. Is it going to come back to haunt him? No! Taking Gordon down. An uneven landing on the hardest part of the ring.
And Gordon's laid out. Let's see if Watts can finish it off here.
High crossbody once again. Oh no, instead Gordon's trying to get out of position, so changing it up in midair with a double leg drop to the back of the head. Watts is gonna beat.
And this is where experience is gonna come into play. Just like Josh Briggs earlier, Flip Gordon, you wouldn't think he had a lot of experience, but he's been all over the place working, and I think this is where it's gonna come into play for him because Watts looks a little frustrated right now.
And so many incredible athletes on today's free Powerbomb pregame. You saw Matt Riddle versus AR Fox, Josh Briggs versus Brian Cage. Right now seeing Flip Gordon versus Brandon Watson. Still to come, our main event. It's going to be Jonathan Gresham one-on-one with Martin Stone for the first time ever. Something tells me that's going to be very different than the high-flying action we've seen thus far in this matchup. The springboard super kick finding the mark. Brandon Watson's going to be careful to protect that neck. Oh, spinning Falcon Arrow.
And you just saw that lack of experience. Watts went to the well again, went right up top, and Flip Gordon knew it was coming and was able to capitalize.
Crockett, you're not going to beat Flip in his own game.
No.
His name is Flip Gordon. Okay. The former gymnast turned professional wrestler is more adept on the ropes and in the air than probably any other professional wrestler that we've seen come along in the last 5 years.
Beautiful kick. Follows it up with the knee.
Excellent combination. What's he going to be looking for to finish it off?
No one there.
He's looking for that spinning stunner and gets met with a tornado DDT.
And Flip Gordon bounced straight into the mat. And let's see if Watts can finish it up with that elbow.
Having a little bit of trouble finding his footing on that top rope. This inverted Finley roll and the super kick. He might be out. Uh-oh, Watts looking for a crucifix.
Enziguri. And Watts is fired up. But he runs into one of his own.
Back and forth. It's anybody's game at this point. Oh, the spinning stunner finds the mark. Arms away from the ropes. Leg is hooked. Flip Gordon picks up the win. Excellent match.
And the new attitude of Flip Gordon pays off in droves as he gets a big win here over Brandon Watts, and I don't think he's finished. Come on, Flip. You're better than this.
Oh, completely uncalled for.
Oh, come on. That's just gross. And this crowd echoing the sentiments of everyone watching at home. That was just disgusting. He got the win. He didn't need to do that. But you know what?
He will be levied a fine for that. We have a pretty strict no spinning policy. And just crossing the line in terms of disrespect. I didn't see Brandon Watts at any point in the match trying to take advantage, putting in Flip in any sort of unnecessarily dangerous position. So it would be one thing to be a sore loser. He's a sore winner.
But you can't argue with results either. As disgusting as it is, that was a new Flip Gordon that I saw.
Well,
and it
certainly
paid
putting
off.
everybody watching on notice, certainly putting everybody in the backstage area of the locker room on notice.
And that winner's bonus just went straight into his fine, so kind of even in the end for him.
We'll throw to Rich Palladino for the introductions of our main event here on the Powerbomb pregame.
For those of you watching on Powerbomb TV right now, if you have not subscribed, get your 20-day trial subscription, enter the passcode WWRPRO, and you can watch 5-year plan absolutely free as part of your trial membership. And ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your main event of the Powerbomb TV pregame. It is scheduled for one fall. And it is for the Powerbomb TV Independent Wrestling Championship.
Oh, that's huge news, Paul Crockett. The powers that be at Powerbomb TV. And Stokely Hathaway able to iron out the details. We're going to be seeing a second title defense of the Independent Wrestling Championship in just 2 days, as we saw Jonathan Gresham victorious over Lightning Mike Quackenbush, who made his Beyond Wrestling debut yesterday at Spirit of 76, a sold-out crowd at the Chikara Wrestle Factory in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But you can give the assist to MJF, who threw a thumb in Quack's eye when he was by the ropes. I do not believe MJF is in the house here today at Electric Haze, so Martin Stone, NXT's Danny Burch, may have a better opportunity to capture that Powerbomb TV Independent Wrestling Championship.
That was Mike Quackenbush? I thought that was Reckless Youth.
Quack making a rare independent wrestling appearance, and him and Gresham was a masterclass. As soon as the replay is up at powerbomb.tv, you got to check it out again. As Palladino urged you, sign up using promo code WWRPRO. That's WWRPRO. Join us again at 3:30 for Women's Wrestling Revolution 5-year plan. We will see Joey Janela and Penelope Ford against David Starr versus Tessa Blanchard, Lufisto versus Hot Scoop Skyler, Jordan Grace going one-on-one with Sonia Strong, Team Adams, which is Deanna Perrazzo, Karen Q, and Tasha Steeles versus Davian's Black and Blue faction. And of course, the Revolutionary Rumble, the winner of which will go on to face Tennille Dashwood right here in this very building on Sunday, March 25th. And it looks like the newest member of the Dream Team Faye Jackson, who was in action later on tonight against Allie Rex, is accompanying Jonathan Gresham along with Stokely Hathaway ringside.
His opponent to my left is accompanied to ringside by fellow Dream Team member, Faye Jackson. And of course, their fearless leader, Stokely Hathaway. They represent from Atlanta, Georgia. Weighing at 168 pounds, he is the current wrestling champion, the man of 1,001 holds, the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham!
DC, all jokes aside, Mike Quackenbush is a guy who has transcended a few generations and not only survived but thrived. So Jonathan Gresham needed a lot of underhanded tactics to get by him, but nonetheless, he got by him. And like we were saying earlier with Flip Gordon, it's all about results.
Well, the first ever reign of the Powerbomb TV Independent Wrestling Championship has been marred with controversy. We saw Jonathan Gresham's very first defense in this very building back at Beyond Wrestling Apocalypse Dudes in October, where he wrestled Flip Gordon, and he had him in a figure-4 leg lock. He took him out of the ring, backed both of his knees to the ground. He could not answer the 10 count. Gresham's second victory was over Nick Gage. Just a couple weeks later at the Chikara Wrestle Factory for the Powerbomb TV special, he also won by countout.
Here's the difference between Jonathan Gresham now and a lot of guys in professional wrestling. He doesn't care if you like him or not. He's going to do everything he can to win. He's not going to pay attention to the crowd. He's singularly focused on getting that victory by any means necessary, and we've seen that on display here at Beyond.
I just want to urge our fans once more, and it's not too late to share the stream at facebook.com/independent wrestling and youtube.com/beyond wrestling. This is going to be something special. Let's get as many eyeballs as possible on it. It's with your support that we can keep providing you with these free monthly Powerbomb pre-games with some of the very best wrestlers in the world. Jonathan Gresham versus Martin Stone is about as close as it can get to a dream match, especially now that Gresham has wrestled Mike Quackenbush. And Martin Stone has been a revelation in Beyond Wrestling since making his debut in August of 2017. We saw him yesterday competing against Flip Gordon. He's had unbelievable matches with the likes of John Silver and Martin Stone trying to be a player. You've got competitors like Joey Janela and David Starr that are vying for the title of the Ace of Beyond Wrestling. And meanwhile, just through hard work, he's not tooting his own horn. Martin Stone is quickly rising the ranks. But can he leave here today the Powerbomb TV Independent Wrestling Championship? And what an odd sort of circumstance that would be. We're talking about how crazy wrestling was in 2017. How about heading into 2018 if an active member of the WWE NXT roster was holding the Powerbomb TV Independent Wrestling Championship?
And you may compare Martin Stone and Mike Quackenbush and think, well, there's a lot of differences. But other than high flying, Martin Stone can be in there and be as versatile as anyone in the game. So this is actually very, very similar for Jonathan Gresham.
Sure.
Maybe even more so because Martin Stone's been more active.
I would say that Stone is stronger than Mike Quackenbush. Yes. I would say that he's better conditioning. I'd say that he's a harder striker. But with that said, nobody has the experience, nobody has the knowledge, the know-how of somebody like Mike Quackenbush, except for maybe Jonathan Gresham. So in that department, if it stays on the mat, Gresham could have the advantage. But then again, just as we saw Jonathan Gresham defeat Flip Gordon back at Apocalypse Dudes, which you can watch at powerbomb.tv, you got to check out the match between Zack Sabre Jr. and Martin Stone. Even though Stone came up short, he proved that he can hang for nearly 30 minutes with Zack Sabre Jr., who deserves to be in the same league, the same consideration as somebody like Gresham, Martin Stone, and Quackenbush. There's your Mount Rushmore right now as far as technical wrestlers active on the scene.
And right there, that was a clinic in mat wrestling from both guys. And I said earlier that Gresham is singularly focused on his opponent in the ring. Now, that could also be a downside because he could get sucked into Martin Stone's game. He has to be focused on making sure Stone comes into his game.
Well, you know, not something that I critique too often, but Stone's going to be careful that he's not too cordial either. I mean, a lot of demonstrations of respect could leave himself susceptible, as we know that Gresham is looking to bend the rules. You know, after every exchange, if he's looking for a handshake, at some point he's going to be pulling back a bloody stump.
Gresham has wrestled all over the world. I've heard you say many times he's wrestled in places you didn't even know wrestling existed. So if there's a style, he knows it. So there's nothing that Martin Stone can throw at him, I believe, that he's not going to be ready for or prepared for.
I mean, parts of Asia that didn't have professional wrestling outside of Japan, Jonathan Gresham is responsible for helping build up those scenes. Obviously, fans probably familiar with Ho Ho Loon from WWE's Cruiserweight Classic last year. I mean, that's somebody that Gresham trained with hand in hand. You know, basically building up a scene in a part of the world where it didn't even exist. And Martin Stone, you know, instrumental ahead of his time in the British wrestling scene, now relocating to Orlando, but still one of the very best to come out of that part of the world.
And I don't know who got more of a workout in that, Stone, Gresham, or referee Kevin Quinn. That was quite an impressive display.
Both these guys are very well-conditioned athletes. Obviously, he's always trying to assign the best officials to call the matches right down the middle. Very rarely will you see a match end in disqualification at Beyond Wrestling or Women's Wrestling Revolution.
Two displays of respect there. We're 2 for 2 so far, so it looks good so far as keeping us on the level. But I don't know how long that's going to last.
Big weekend for the Dream Team, big day for the Dream Team, as Stokely Hathaway is representing Jonathan Gresham and Faye Jackson, who will be competing at WWR 5-year plan against Allie Rex, perhaps even vying for a bid in the Revolutionary Rumble later on tonight. You have to sign up for Powerbomb TV using promo code WWRPRO, make it a doubleheader with the Royal Rumble. Hoping to finish up around 7 o'clock right at the start of their broadcast. So, again, no football today. Sit home on a Sunday afternoon and watch the best professional wrestling brought to you by the incredible staff at Powerbomb TV, Beyond Wrestling, and Women's Wrestling Revolution.
What you're going to be watching for here with Jonathan Gresham is he is able to find a body part, whether it be an arm, a leg, the back, the tip of your pinky, whatever it is. Once he finds that, he's going to attack it like a tiger attacking a gazelle.
Yeah, but you know what? He takes it a step further, because he won't just stop at one body part. He'll break you down systematically. Let's say he wants to target your arm. And then once he feels like he's done a good enough job, he's going after your leg until he's got you beat. He's not just going to be looking for that arm submission. He's going to be trying to put not just a chink in the armor, he wants to take that suit of armor off of you. I can watch Jonathan Gresham wrestle all day. I wish he wasn't aligned with Stokely Hathaway.
Well, hey, you got to get paid somehow, and Stokely Hathaway...
He's been bringing paydays to Gresham, absolutely.
Yeah, you have to find a way to do that because your career only lasts so long, so it's very smart of Gresham, even though you don't like him.
Stokely's the insurance policy. Gresham, I'd say 9 times out of 10 can win on his own accord, but for that 10th time, Stokely's there to make sure that he still wins. He's taking home the winner's purse. He's getting the big matches every single time out. I get it. I don't like it. And God forbid Stokely becomes a physical factor in this match to the detriment of the sport of professional wrestling.
Well, you don't have to like it, but Gresham went all over the world, and what did that get him? Okay, he had the main event of American Rana, but was he even in consideration to be the ace of Beyond Wrestling? No. So he had to fend for himself and take the next step.
Well, he is certainly... he's defended his Independent Wrestling Championship at Beyond Wrestling, I think, more than any other title has been defended in Beyond Wrestling. So... I mean, yeah, you know, and that was something that Mike Quackenbush did yesterday in commentary as part of Spirit 76 as we were calling the main event. You know, never mind this conversation about Ace, maybe we should be looking to Jonathan Gresham as the very best in Beyond Wrestling. These guys got to be careful to stay away from the Ace and Martin Stone specifically, because we know that Gresham is willing to drop him on the floor, even from a head scissors position.
And that would break his neck. That would end his life, let alone his career.
Yeah. Never mind Women's Wrestling Revolution 5-year plan. We'd have to clear everybody out to get an ambulance in here.
And Gresham got a little cocky, turned his back and paid for it, and now his finger is snapped in half, it looks like.
I don't know if Martin Stone breaks the bone in the hand with that type of attack. I think it's more of a dislocation maneuver, but it's very painful to put those fingers back into place, just as much as it hurts to put them out of place, except who has the strength to be able to put it manually? Right now, he's, so many of these submission holds rely on knuckle-to-knuckle grip, a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, and Jonathan Gresham now can't even fend for himself because he's got dislocated fingers on every hand.
Only 2 left on that hand, I think. Is he gonna go for 2 more?
He's gonna be taking the whole hand home with him.
And Stone taunting Stokely Hathaway, telling him to get in the ring too. Stone feeling very good about himself right now, as he should.
Man, the technique to just systematically pop every single one of your opponent's finger out of place.
I think 6 fingers left now on both hands. Oh, here, no, we're gonna have less now.
Oh, and now graduating up the arm, trying to target the small bones in the hand and the wrist. That's where there's the largest collection of bones in the body. Gresham in so much pain, it looks like he was about to barf.
And I think he was trying to get out. I think he was gonna leave. But Martin Stone not letting that happen. Oh, no.
That's it.
It's gonna be...
That's it, that hand is useless.
He's gonna have to go all in the legs, and I don't think I've ever seen someone try that in professional wrestling before, to win a match with just his legs. But you never know what you're gonna see in beyond.
Stokely's trying to pop him into place. Stokely's trying to pop him into place right now.
I think he should probably hire a doctor. He has enough money to do that. He might need a doctor now at ringside.
A ringside doctor for the Dream Team. I don't know if that would be allowed. Gresham's trying to head for the hills. Martin Stone having none of it.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Gresham's gonna get those fingers popped back into place.
Oh boy, I don't think Gresham has been in this spot before in his career. He's been it all, he's been everywhere, seen it all, but I don't think he's seen this.
Those hands are useless right now. Stone's gonna go for the kill. We could be looking at a new Powerbomb TV Independent Wrestling Championship. Gresham doesn't even look like he can defend himself. At what point do you say enough is enough and you give up the title? Adding insult to injury. Martin Stone. The Irish whip. Gresham getting the boot up. And like you said, he's going to have to attack with the legs. Now hooking his arms around, but couldn't get a good grip to keep him in position for the pin. Able to take out the leg. Using his wrists.
There it is.
His wrist is the point of connection. Kick the arm. And there you see hooking the arm drag, excuse me, with the forearm. Again, really not getting any hand-to-hand contact.
And I said I've never seen somebody try to use their legs before, but if there was anybody in Beyond Wrestling who could pull it off, it is Jonathan Gresham.
It looked like Gresham was able to pop a few fingers back into place right there. Bought himself a little bit of time. That doesn't mean he's going to have a lot of strength in his hand. Still going to be experiencing a lot of pain.
And now, giving it right back to Stone, so we may have a legs versus legs match by the time this is all said and done.
Sure, how strong is his grip, though? That's what I want to know. Right now, wrestling circles literally around Martin Stone. He's going to try and get feeling back into those hands. You see him shaking it off.
And he has enough to make this.
Now he's trying to pop the shoulder out. He's using his legs. You know, Jonathan Gresham is a very different size than a lot of the competitors that you see. It allows him to apply holds that other wrestlers may be too big for. If he can fully extend Martin Stone's arm and lean back with his feet applied around the shoulders of Stone, he can get that arm out of socket. Never mind dislocating your fingers. If you dislocate your arm, we saw what happened to AR Fox. He had to take 2 weeks out of action because he dislocated his shoulder. So, and even still, rushing back quickly, falling short to Matt Riddle today.
Jonathan Gresham, a little on the shorter side as far as stature, but do not underestimate his strength. But he is a strong guy. If you ever bump into him, you go, wait a minute, I wasn't expecting that.
No, he's dense. He's thickly put together. And that striking style that he was taught at the WWA 4 school by Mr. Hughes, obviously now in the hands of AR Fox. Atlanta's is quite the hotbed for wrestling as well.
And look at him, not even being able to grip a fist there, but still having the advantage over a well-traveled veteran like Stone. And there's the striking game coming into play that we haven't seen up until this point. So I think that could be the determining factor.
Stone's definitely got a bigger reach. So if Martin Stone can stick and move, that's going to work to his advantage. Can he capitalize? See, targeting that shoulder, he went for the Irish whip. Gresham able to hold on with what little strength he still has left. And even the shoulder tackle. What's smart about this strategy is that Stone attacked the hands, so you're going from the wrist down. If Gresham is attacking at a higher point at the shoulder, now you're looking at the bicep, the tricep, the forearm, the wrist, and the hand all becoming useless as that arm dangles at the side of Martin Stone. Gresham ain't no dummy, Crockett.
He's not. He's very, very smart, very well read, very well studied. He is a guy who watches more wrestling than anyone I know, in different styles, not just the ones everybody else. He doesn't go with the trend as far as watching. He'll go deep into the past decades to find something to help him win a match.
Stone charging in, running in with the European uppercut from the good arm. This is a great combination as he pulls him out of the corner with the clothesline. Some signature offense from Martin Stone, still not enough.
I was talking to him this week. I said, what are you watching now? He said, I'm thinking back into the 60s British style. I said, what are you doing that for? He said, you never know what you're going to pick up.
Stone or Gresham? Because it wouldn't surprise me from either guy. Both guys.
But it was Gresham.
It was Gresham.
So you never know what you're going to find and where as far as studying, and that's why Gresham's so dangerous.
I mean, Martin Stone down at the Performance Center also has access to learn from some of these living legends of professional wrestling.
He's had more than one conversation with Robbie Brooks tonight, so you know you're going to learn something there.
Yeah, what about William Regal? You ever heard of him?
Who? Oh, Steven Regal. You're right. Sorry.
Well, we're going to see a performance perhaps from a manly man, a lot of machismo, to see who's the tougher, as both these guys are pretty beat up. Oh! Headbutt right to the side of the face. Gresham's still up.
You can study what you want, but a headbutt will knock it all out.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the headbutt, too. You might concuss yourself. You might split yourself. That's a dangerous move for both competitors.
Yeah, ask Katsuyori Shibata about that.
Missing with the European uppercut. Gresham got underneath him, sliding over and kicking the arm once again. You know, that pinning combination that Gresham put together yesterday on Quack, he pretty much planted his head on Quack's head to help keep him down with it. I've never seen a hold like that in my life.
Gresham went for the arm drag again, missed. Stone pops it back up, but Gresham gets the arm drag that he wanted.
I mean, this action is too fast to call. Gresham losing grip of Martin Stone right there. He's got him tied up as the referee gets in a position. And the referee being out of position might have saved Martin Stone there.
And that's not even thought on Gresham's part. That's all instinct kicking in.
As the perspiration starts to build on the body of these athletes, it can be tough to get a good grip, especially with the damage done to the hands and arms.
Beautiful exploder.
There you see him closing the gap with that knockout shot. He's got Gresham down. One,
Gresham
two.
looked out of it. Oh!
Second away from a new Powerbomb TV Independent Wrestling Champion. Unbelievable action. How can we be giving this away for free at Facebook.com/Independent Wrestling and YouTube.com/Beyond Wrestling? It's because of all of your support, supporting Beyond Wrestling and WWR.
And Stokely glad to take his client away.
Let's get him back in the ring. Kevin Quinn hesitating to issue the count. Out of my vantage point.
Come on, Gresham.
And he has him back, bringing him to the ring. And this is where Stokely's is most dangerous, too.
Well, he was trying to go out the back door. Now he's trying to go out of one of the front doors. And, of course, with the fans ringside here at Beyond Wrestling and Women's Wrestling Revolution.
And, again, Stokely taking his client away.
What a coward. Faye Jackson better be careful. Stokely
getting involved, screaming in the face of Martin Stone as Gresham has him in a sleeper hold. And we're at a 6 count right now. Gresham running back into the ring. Can Stone get up and answer the count? You're at 8.
He wants another count-out victory, not like this. Oh, he collapsed.
And Stone gets back in. And Gresham is in shock. He cannot believe it. And I don't think he knows what to do now.
Looking for that count out once again. He's got tunnel vision.
Again with the sleeper. Looking to put Stone out, put him away, and get the count out.
Stone needs
once
to find
again.
a counter right here. And Stokely Hathaway, get this bozo out of here and an insult to injury. Screaming in the face of Jonathan Gresham's opponent, the contender for the Independent Wrestling Championship.
We're at a 6 count now, and Stone flipping Stokely off. We're at an 8. Stone fighting him off.
Both men gonna get back in the ring.
And he missed the forearm.
Oh, come on!
Hit the post, and Gresham gets another cheap win.
Look at the exasperation on the face of Martin Stone. How can he proudly wear that title, Paul Crockett? The entire Dream Team is a joke. Don't give him a mic.
Repercussions, they're a motherfucker.
Oh my God! Not mincing words at all. Stokely Hathaway and the Dream Team calling out Hot Sauce Tracy Williams and Wheeler Yuta, collectively known as Hot Wheels. They came to the aid of Mike Quackenbush yesterday when it looked like the Dream Team was going to attack. Again, fans, I want to urge you, please join us in just about a half hour at Powerbomb.tv for Women's Wrestling Revolution 5-year plan. Sign up using promo code WWRPRO. You can watch tonight's broadcast for free, including the Revolutionary Rumble, the winner of which will go on to face Tennille Dashwood on March 25th right here in this very building. Thank you guys for checking out the Powerbomb pregame. Unbelievable.